What if you could win at anything you tried?
This isn't as easy as it looks.
We'll start in Tampa, Florida, where the #1 ranked player in the world
I let my bags do the talking.
helps me take down a classic American game. Then we travel to Austin, where it's good to be the king. Take me. And I show you how to deliver a royal beatdown in checkers. Victory's mine. Next, it's on to the streets of Philadelphia, where I show you a great game that proves you can't always trust what you see and hear. And it's off to Texas, where I'll get you hopping and take down one of the Midway's most challenging games. What did I tell you? My name is Sal Piacente, and I know every con in the book. People hire me to show them how to spot a hustle. From coast to coast, I'll break down and reveal how to win at games, contests, and tricks. From the boardwalk to the carnival, I've got all the angles. Game on, America. First, we're off to a popular spring break destination, Tampa, Florida. Tucked within the city limits is a neighborhood called Ybor City, known as the Bourbon Street of Northern Florida. Here, college kids dominate the bar scene. And at this bar, they're all playing a classic outdoor game, Cornhole. What I love about Cornhole is you can play it anywhere. Just set up your 2 targets 27 feet apart and enjoy a little friendly competition. The object is to toss a 6-inch square bag into a hole that's 6 inches in diameter. If you land the bag on the board, it's 1 point. In the hole is 3 points.
Good shot, Sal.
Yeah, I'm good, but for me, good's not good enough. So I called in an expert. That's Cody Henderson. At 22, Cody is currently the #1 ranked cornhole player in the world. Together, Cody and I are going to show you how to dominate this classic American game. Cody, take us home.
No.
Let's game. First, if you're going to throw right, it all starts when the bag is in your hand. So let's break down the proper way to hold the bag. When I hold a bag, I like to hold mine like that.
I agree. You want it to be nice and comfortable in your hand. Then when you just want to square it up in your hand, pinch it down, get a nice grip. Your fingers should just be right on the back, and you're using your thumb as support.
Okay, so you've got the proper hold on the bag. Now you're ready to toss like a boss. The key is in the spin.
You want to get a spin on the bag, but you don't want to overdo it. The spin is basically what's going to get your bag straight to the hole, land flat, and it'll land it to slide right up the board. Your fingers are basically what's going to get you that spin. It's just almost like you're spinning the basketball on your finger. You'll go up, you'll get a nice little spin, just nice and flat, slide all the way up the board.
See how it just flattens and stays?
It's nice and flat, and it won't go off the back of the board.
If you find the bag is still sliding off the board or not even getting there, then remember this. You have to be like Noah and nail that arc. The higher the arc of your shot, the straighter it comes down onto the board, and the more likely it is to stay put and score points. Explain to me how you put a nice arc into it.
It's all motion. You're wanting to swing back, get that momentum, and then I'm going to release right about up here. The higher you release, the higher that bag's going to go.
Now, how hard do you get yours about?
I get mine, I'd say around 10 feet. 10 feet arc.
Will you do it for me?
Absolutely.
Give it a nice arc. A nice high arc. It hits the board and stays on the board.
Yes.
Once you got the arc down, it's time to keep your eye on the prize. Think of it like basketball. If you keep your eyes on the rim throughout your shot, your aim stays true.
You want to be looking at the hole at all times. The hole is your goal, so you're looking right at the hole, you're squared up, and then when you throw, you're guiding that bag exactly where you want it to go. It'll land in the hole or it'll be in the way of your opponent.
Cody keeps his eye on the hole, but he aims to land the bag right before it. This way, the bag will either slide into the hole or block his opponent. When you do that, they don't know what to do. It throws them off.
Exactly.
I think I was good. I think you made me better. How about me and you a little one-on-one? Let's play a game. So remember, use a 5-finger grip, spin the bag with a high arc so it lands flat, and keep your eye on the hole at all times.
What happens now?
I'm going to take them all in.
Do that, and you just might be the cornhole king at your next tailgate. Good game.
Good game, Sal.
Good game. Now let's move the party west to the entertainment capital of Texas, 6th Street, Austin. Today, It's a trendy area in Texas's capital city. But back during the Wild West days, there were saloons here. And if the card games were a little too much for you, there was one game you could always play. King me. I'm talking checkers, the strategy game that's been popular in this country since the pioneer days. So if you're looking to rule the red and black, listen up. Checkers is alive and well at the Recess Arcade Bar. Here, where folks gather to play all sorts of games, this old-time classic is still one of the most popular. You know the game. You jump the other player's pieces to take them, and if you get to your opponent's end of the board, you get kinged. Getting those kings is really important because they can move in any direction. The winner is the one who clears the board of the competition. Victory's mine.
Unbelievable. I want a rematch.
See, when I play this game, I think of it as a military battle.
Okay.
I'm the general, and this is my army.
That's fantastic. I love that.
You know who you're playing against, don't you?
No, who's that?
I'm the checkered fox. So let's do battle.
Let's get it on.
Did you know there are over 500 quintillion possible positions the pieces can occupy on this board? That's a 5 with 20 zeros. With so many possibilities, there are actually some checkers that should stay put. You turn a regular piece into a king by getting into your opponent's back row. King me? These kings are very valuable, so you need to protect what checkers experts call the home row. So, don't move any pieces from your home row until you absolutely have to. See these two pieces? You can't come forward to get a king because all my pieces are still blocking the front row. See? If earlier in the game I had moved this piece out of the home row, my opponent would now have a king. But because I stayed home, my opponent doesn't have that opportunity.
Got me locked out.
So now you know which pieces not to move. But when it comes to the ones you must move, there's a few key pointers you're going to need to know if you want to be a checkers king. It's game on in Austin, Texas, where I'm breaking down my winning checkers strategy. I've talked about how keeping your pieces in the home row prevents your opponent from getting kings. And now with that row secure, I go on the offensive with my checkers on the front two rows. King me again, which leads me to my next strategy. Armies always move as a unit, and you want to move your checkers as a unit too. A single checker can always be jumped, but not if it has backup. If you maneuver one checker up as the scout and the other one up to back him up, the scout is protected and can't get jumped. Building your offense this way will ensure you keep most of your pieces further into the game.
Not much I can do.
Okay, I see what you're doing. So I am going to take control of the center. Whoever controls the center controls all. Inexperienced players move to keep their pieces near the edges of the board. To them, it feels like there's a lot less chance to get jumped. But take a look. If my strategy is to move toward the edge of the board for safety's sake, within a few moves, I have two of my pieces completely trapped and useless. Okay, we got him. On the other hand, capturing the center gives you the most flexibility because you're only a few moves from anywhere on the board. Plus, your opponent has to move through the center to get anywhere. I love to set him up and take him down.
Wow, did it again. Unbelievable.
The next thing you need to know is, as in any battle, there's no victory without sacrifice. Take a look at the board. Sure, there are other moves I could make, but if I sacrifice this piece by moving it up, when he jumps me, I've set him up so I can take two of his pieces. I'll sacrifice him.
Okay, a little sacrifice here.
Because now I get a double.
Oh, wow. I didn't see that coming.
If sacrificing a piece helps clear out your opponent's defense, or if it creates a path to his back row, you gotta do it. King me. So for winning checkers, remember these tips. Now this is gonna be good. Keep your pieces at home, make your moves into the center of the board, and always be willing to make sacrifices in the name of victory. Game over. Good game. Now we travel to the city of Philadelphia. This town's not just about cheesesteaks and football, it's about history. Philly was the nation's first capital city, home of the country's first library, and site of the country's first mint. And I've got a few coins minted right here. And I'm taken to the Philly streets to do what I do best, win. One way to win is to outsmart the competition. And a great way to do that is to mess with their expectations. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do with just 2 coins, as soon as I can get someone to stop and play with me. Gentlemen, how are you doing? I'm sorry to trouble you. Can I ask you a question? Okay, no problem. Excuse me, can I trouble you for a second?
No, thanks.
No? Excuse me, can I trouble you for a second? I just got a quick question, a quick brain teaser. I just want to see if you can figure it out.
Okay.
I have 2 coins in my hand, American currency. They equal 11 cents. One of them is not a penny.
Oh.
What 2 coins do I have? American currency. Yeah. They equal 11 cents. One of them is not a penny. What 2 coins do I have?
A nickel. Oh, I don't know.
11 cents. One of them's not a penny. What 2 coins do I have?
You're smarter.
I'm not. You are smarter. Go ahead.
2 coins, American coins. One of them's not a penny. What 2 coins do you think I have? Got the answer? No. That's because your expectations are getting the best of you. We all know what 2 coins we expect to add up to 11 cents, a dime and a penny. But how could that be when one of the coins isn't a penny? The answer is easy. One of them's not a penny. The other one is.
Oh.
One of them isn't a penny. Huh. One of them is not a penny. It's a dime.
That's crazy.
Little play on words. Your ear hears one thing and shuts down hearing another. That was just a warm-up act. You really want to blow someone's mind with a few coins? Then check this out. We're in Philadelphia, home of Benjamin Franklin. So I'm going to ask you a question. Benjamin Franklin's mom had 3 children. Penny, Nikki, and what's the name of the 3rd child? Now you play the name game. Ben Franklin's mom had 3 children. Penny, Nikki, and who? What do you think? Any idea? It's game on here on the streets of Philadelphia. I'm in the shadow of Independence Hall with a riddle of historic proportions. Benjamin Franklin's mom had 3 children. Penny, Nikki, and what's the name of the 3rd child? Any idea?
I don't know.
Okay, Dime, okay.
Dominic?
Dominic, that's very good. It's not the right answer, but that's very good. Dime, Dominic, I can see the relation. The answer is simple, but no one ever gets this right while I'm holding the coins out in front of them. Here, let's try something. I'll remove the coins. Now listen again. Ben Franklin's mom had 3 children. Penny, Nikki, and who? Now, did you get it? All right, well, forget the coins, okay? Just the wording alone. Benjamin Franklin's mom had 3 children. Penny, Nikki, and...
Benny. Benjamin Franklin.
That's it, you got it.
Flipping Benjamin.
Benjamin, that's
Benjamin?
right.
Oh my-
Benjamin. Benjamin
Why did
Franklin's
you? Wait, how did you know
had
that?
3 children. Why does this work? Because your expectations are messing with you. Here, the brain is using 2 switches, sight and sound. When we perceive things by both, the brain has to choose between them, and seeing wins out over hearing. Dominic, that's very good. It's not the right answer, but that's very good. Dime, Dominic, I can see the relation. But when I take away the visuals, the coins, your brain doesn't have to choose. It only goes by what it hears, and the riddle becomes much easier to solve.
Benjamin.
Benjamin, outstanding. So now with just 3 coins, you can play a little game that will totally mess with your friends' expectations. Trust me, no one will ever expect it. Next, we head north to the Garden State and the Harvest Moon Brewery in New Brunswick, where I have another riddle for you. 4 people walk into a bar, the check comes. So who pays? Please.
Get out of there.
Hang on, I'll tell you what, before you guys do this, want some fun? In the end, I'll be the one paying. But first, I'm gonna make them sweat and show you a fun game. We'll write our names, we'll put them on a piece of paper, put our names in a hat, we'll pull one out. Whoever's name gets pulled out doesn't have to pay. That's fair.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Can you borrow your hat for a second?
We'll give it back.
For this game, we need 1 sheet of paper that I tear into 4 separate pieces. Each person writes their name on the slip, and then we drop all the names into a hat. The one that we pick doesn't pay.
Okay.
It's me. So I'm off the hook on this one. Of course it wasn't just luck. I've got a foolproof way to pick my name that works every time. Now, I'm gonna pick up the tab and give my pals a free lesson. And I got something really cool to show you. So this is on me. This trick comes down to two key factors: the rip of the paper and being the person to pick the name out of the hat. It's me. So I'm off the hook on this one. You see, I was the one who ripped the paper out before passing it along. But I didn't just rip from the side. I also ripped the bottom, leaving a rough edge, which is key. I call this the double tear. Then I make sure my name is on the slip of paper that's on the top of the page and has a long, smooth side. Check it out. The other three names all have long sides that are torn and rough. Only my name has a long side that's smooth. When I put my hand into the hat, I feel around for the paper that's got the one long, smooth side. And that's the paper I pull out. As long as you're the one picking, it always works. Pretty cool, huh? Just don't try it on me. Now, let's head to the Lone Star State. If you follow Route 281 south into Central Texas, you'll come to Burnet. Population, about 4,700. Here in Burnet, Texas, they throw a giant party every year for the state flower. And the Blue Bonnet Festival does it up big time. Great food, rides, and of course, the games of the Midway. But of all the games, there's only one that'll really get you hopping. It's the frog launcher. The rules are easy.
So close.
You get 3 rubber frogs. Set them on one of these launches, bring the hammer down, and let her fly. Land one on the free-floating lily pad and take the prize. Simple game, right? Wrong. The frog launcher is one of the toughest games on the Midway.
Nice! That was good. Hey, good job. That was good. Good job.
This isn't as easy as it looks.
And it looks like these folks are proving just how tough this game is. Good thing for them, I have some great advice so they won't have to walk away empty-handed. The frog launcher is a simple catapult. And what do they put in catapults?
Rocks.
Rocks. Smooth, round rocks. The reason catapult rocks and even cannonballs are round is because the smooth surface allows the force of the air it's moving through, called drag, to affect it evenly across its surface. And that's what helps it fly straight. But if you were to launch something oddly shaped through the air, like say this frog, the aerodynamic force does not flow across the surface evenly. So this guy is going to fly erratically and raise the level of difficulty of that frog finding the lily pad. So the only way to win at this game is to turn this rubber frog into a round cannonball. Fortunately, I know exactly how to make that happen. It's game on at the Blue Bonnet Festival in Burnet, Texas, where I'm breaking down the frog launcher.
Nice!
To win at this game, you need to make sure this guy flies as straight as possible.
So close.
Which means he needs to be as round as possible. And there's only one way to do that. You have to tuck those legs to stand a chance. He'll open up later on, which you want it to do. Why? You want a bigger surface area when it lands in the pad. But when it takes off, you want something nice and round.
Okay.
Oh, that's true. That makes sense.
It'll take off nice and round. It'll fly straight. Okay, give it a try.
Let's go, Alex.
Go, Alex.
Oh, that was close.
There. Now that they got the frog flying straight, it's time for the next step. You got to move, aim, and make sure that lily pad is settled. When you guys walked up, you make the same mistake everybody makes. You walk right in front of your launcher and you stay there. The launcher's on wheels. Don't be afraid to move it.
Oh, that's so...
Yeah.
Twist it, turn it, go side to side. You want to make sure your launcher is aimed for that pad. Catapults were always built on wheels so they can be moved into position and aimed. Do the same thing with your launcher. Move it anywhere you need to line up your shot perfectly. Then once you've got the frog lined up, remember, it's always harder to hit a moving target. So wait for the lily pad to settle before taking your shot. Remember, you get 3 shots, so you should use them all. You don't get any special bonuses if you get the first one on or the second one on. It's got to be 1 out of 3. So on your first shot, hit it as hard as you can. Send the frog flying. Use that first shot to test your strength and the strength of the catapult. Now that you know how far that frog can fly, take some off your second shot and dial in your aim. And the third one, that's when you nail it, win the prize, and take it home. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's see what you got.
All right, let's do
Game
this.
on. Tuck its legs in just like that. Move your launcher, aim towards it. You got it? Hit it as hard as you can. Okay, that's good. Right aim. Now hit it again with a little less power. Okay, last shot. Time to split the difference and nail it. You ready?
I got this.
What'd I tell you? What did I tell you? Pick a prize. Okay, ladies, who's up next?
Yeah.
Remember that this game is one of the more challenging ones on the midway. A little harder than your second, and you're there. But if you follow a few simple tips, experiment a bit, and play for that third shot,
You got this, Alex?
it'll be game on, America. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? He did it. My work here is done.
Thanks, Sal.
Thanks,
Let's
Sal.
take care. Enjoy.
Bye.
Wow, that was awesome. I can't believe we actually won.